Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am Kimberly Pinkston with Her Story. Hey, y'all. I missed y'all last week, but Queen needed a break for a minute, okay? Sometimes, everybody needs a mental break, and I took one. So, I am back this week. Glad to be here. Happy Juneteenth weekend to all of my peeps. Woo, woo. Love it, love it, love it. And happy Father's Day to all of the Black Kings out there. We love you and we are super, super proud of you. Okay. And so, since everybody is talking about Juneteenth this weekend, I have decided that I'm going to do my own special tribute to Black fathers, the Her Story version. Yay! Okay, I'm rolling solo. I sort of like rolling solo because I get to say what I want to say and be more of myself, and so that's what I'm going to do. These are my opinions, as I always state, and so we're going to talk about the Black fathers. I was very, very fortunate to grow up and have a most wonderful dad. Of course, we bumped heads a lot. My mom said that's because I was just like him. Truth be told, I am. He's gone on to glory now, but I still miss him and still love him. And I can tell you this, that growing up having a father made a big difference in my life because dads are that backbone, that backup, that voice of reason, um, that great defender for all things that are wrong in the little girl's life and a grown girl's life because he stepped in a few times while I was a grown woman, and thank God for that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the power of Black fathers. Sometimes as Black women, we don't give them the credit that they deserve. And y'all know it's true because, some of y'all make it difficult for a brother to even see his kids for some foolishness. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead on and say it. Not all of us, but some of us be holding on to the fact because he ain't with me, he ain't never going to see his kids. Really? Really? Is that the dumbest stuff you ever thought of? Maybe you shouldn't be broadcasting that because it takes two to make a baby. He got just as much right to his children as you do, and I know some sisters who been grown long time ago, 50, 60 years old, still holding on to this same nonsense. Father's still active in the kid's life and everything. He done moved on, got married, and you still holding on and mad at him because he ain't with you. What? I mean, some stuff don't even make sense. Dragging the babies in between all that nonsense when y'all should be co-parenting, acting like you got some sense. But that's another episode. Today we're going to talk about the Black fathers. So I was looking online, looking for information to research and find out stuff to talk about and everything, right, y'all? So I found this article and I love it. It's in the Atlanta Voice, and the sister, Ann Hill Bond, shout out to her. She did a great job on the power of Black fathers. So I'm going to pull some information from that. And there was this one young man who wrote a message, a letter to Black fathers, which I think is so appropriate, so appropriate. His name is Kelsey Maynor, and I'm going to read it. Dear Black man, fatherhood is but a piece of our lives, a very unique and tailored piece that we can share in common. Yes, I'm aware that fatherhood is difficult, but so is being yourself. Oddly enough, fatherhood is just that, being yourself. Be mindful that there are little ones watching your every move, not to judge you, but to be just like you. You are their example. So the challenge for us as fathers becomes, what do we want our young ones to see? We want our young ones to see our smiles and hear our laughter. We want them to see us work. We want them to see us think through problems, to see us struggle, think, and push through until successful. We want them to see us caring for others. We want them to see us cry and feel and understand. We want them to see us rest. We want them to see how we handle frustrating situations. We want them to see us build things. We want them to see us take care of our homes, cut the grass, plant flowers. We want them to see us love their mothers. We want them to see us being us. Coming from a son, and this is his words, coming from a son who is now a father of 3, I can tell you the perfect dad is the one who is always striving to be himself and be his best self in front of his children. Be yourself. Get better every day. Expose yourself to new things so you can help expose your young ones. And stop, I repeat, stop beating yourself up. You are amazing. You are loved. You are strong, and you will be a great father. Keep working at it. Keep working at it. Keep working at it. And don't let anyone try to take it away from you. A father's love is in high demand, and you have what it takes. What a beautiful letter. And what a beautiful way to uplift our Black men and Black fathers who are doing the best that they can with what they have to work with. I think sometimes as women, we get that confused. I mean, imagine this. You give birth, first child, and you see your baby and you go. In your mind, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. But then there's a fear factor that kicks in. Oh, shoot. I got to be responsible for somebody else. I've got to take responsibility for this life. I've never done this before. What am I going to do? Don't think dads don't feel the same way. Especially a Black man with all the stereotypes and all the stuff that he has to hold on his shoulders. And here you come with the kids. Because, he didn't make them by himself. It was a joint effort, and so now he's got to seriously man up and make sure that he's there and worry about the future, the present, and, and get it all together. On top of playing that game to try to be successful and fit into a world where they really don't have any respect for him. So sometimes we need to just kind of lighten up on the brothers, y'all. For real, we do need to lighten up on the brothers sometimes. Okay? So, in this article, they asked the question, what is the power of Black fatherhood? And different men answered the questions with different responses. So I'm going to read some. The first one said, the power of Black fatherhood is the ability to break down generational curse, but also the ability to heal generational trauma and live in the blessing of legacy. Beautiful. As a Black man, raising Black children, feeding into their spirit and their education and their life, they look up to you, and that's what you want to do, break the generational curse. Because from slavery days, or the time when we were enslaved as people, Black men didn't have that option. They loved their children, and their wives wanted to stay with them. I mean, they were pulled from the shores of Africa, then got here to America, and they started using them to breed so that they could make better labor or more labor for the whites. So they were always pulled from their family, and then would go and have to start another family and another family and another family. Hence is where all this started from. You got a woman over here, got a woman over there. Now you call it being a player. But shoot, that's a lot of money, player. You're going to be dishing out because these sisters, especially the young girls coming at you for that child support. You might want to put a helmet on that soldier. I'm just saying. Okay. But at any rate, this is what happened and what precipitated the actions that seem to be a generational curse for us. But I do know a lot of fathers that love on their children, are active in their lives. And you know what? Hats off to you all. I love that. There's nothing sexier than a black man who takes care of his children. We all say it. We just do. That is just fly. That's what's up. That's a whole vibe right there, as my sister would say. A whole vibe. Okay? So, the next guy, they asked him the same question. What is the power of black fatherhood? Black fathers are the backbone of the family and the community. It's a position of leadership, one of support, admiration, and respect in the black family. And it is. And it is. Think about this, y'all. Y'all know how when, you had those family reunions and stuff and everybody feed the kids and then you feed the men and the women feed themselves. And the men have their little corner where they're doing their little chit-chat and they're talking to the other younger men, chit-chatting it up. And then the women are on one side talking and everything. I mean, they just are. They are the backbone of the family. I mean, it's a father who tells a little girl that when she turns 9 years old, no, you don't need to sit no man's lap. Might not give it an explanation at 9, but by the time you're 13 or 14, you know exactly what he means. You don't do that. And you can tell the difference between the girls that know and the girls that don't. I'm sorry I said it. It's the truth. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say. It's the truth. You know the difference. They don't like to be all hugged up. Girls that are raised with dads aren't all hugged up under a bunch of men and all that kind of foolishness. Because daddy already told you and schooled you on what's up with that. So you don't do it. Okay? And they are the backbone of the family. And it is a position of leadership. And you guys should be so proud and own that. Own that, okay? The other gentleman, his response to that same question was, what is the power of black fatherhood? He said, I believe the power of black fatherhood is knowing that it is all mental and to keep growing, smiling, and being a positive influence within their community so that his children can see him being happy and making a positive contribution. Boom. It is mental. It's mental just like being a mother. Some days you got to stay prayed up with your children. I can't imagine it being any different for a father who is active in his children's life. I mean, because they're at a growing stage, a learning stage. They're not always going to get it right. They're going to make mistakes because we did when we were growing up. And when they fall, it's your job to be there to catch them. And fathers make a big difference in children's life. In the black family, period. It strengthens the family. It's so much more positive. Okay? And the next gentleman, his response was, the power of black fatherhood is gaining mental capacity to fight for your children when you desire to be in your lives. Okay, so this brother might have had some drama with the mama, and sometimes, it happens. That's all I'm going to say. It happens. But a man that fights to be in his children's life, that's a beautiful thing. It may not have worked out with you and him, but he still wants to be what he has been designated to be, their father. So sometimes you got to work past your differences so that you two can come to a mutual understanding. And it's all for the good of the kids. It is. All right. And the next gentleman. The power of black fatherhood can change the world. It has changed the world. Our children need to see in us the things that we do versus the things that we say to create change in the world. And that's true, because my dad used to always say to us, people can hear what you do better than they hear what you say. Because, as my husband say, a nigger will make his mouth say anything. But let me see what you do. And believe me, little people watch everything that you do. You know how you see babies sometimes and you say a few curse words and then the next thing you know, here they are when something happened. That's the first thing that comes out of their mouth. You can't be mad at them because you know they picked that up from you, right? You know they picked that up from you. So let's, be mindful of that. But I love the fact that he fights for his kids. Okay. Now, here's another question. How do you balance mental health as a black man and a father? And the truth is, one guy said, you just have to be honest. You've got to be honest. You got to be honest with yourself, with your kids. You can only do what you can do. Just like a mother. She can only do what she can do. Doesn't mean that she don't try like hell to make it happen. And fathers have that same burden, especially black fathers. Like I said, it's so difficult when you live in a world where the black man is demonized for so many things. To me, basically, it's just fear, because they know you're good at everything. So they fear everything and anything you do and say. It's just like the angry black woman syndrome. As long as we speak in this tone of voice, we're good. But if we have a moment when we seriously going on you, then all of a sudden we're the angry black woman. So having said that, I'm going to move on. Okay, let's see. Describe your childhood with your father or father figure. There's one man who said he grew up in Mississippi and his father was not there, but his grandfather helped raise him. And his grandfather was everything to him. He was the father, his best friend, helped him come into manhood, taught him the ins and outs of being a man, how to be responsible. And sometimes being a father figure is not necessarily that you were the sperm donor. But there are so many black men that show such positive influence into so many children that are not their own, which is awesome because it takes a village to raise our kids. So let's see. And what life lessons have you learned and hope will stay in your bloodline for generations to come? As a black man, one guy said he hopes that resilience stays in their bloodline and that his children will learn to fight and stand up for what is right. And that's all you can ask for. So I just wanted to do my tribute to all the black men out there who are doing the best you can and doing a fabulous job, being an awesome, awesome dad. Some days I like to say every day is a good day and some days are better than others. Okay? You're not going to always get it right, but you're there. What's more important than money to a child? Your presence. Your presence. So, to all the black men that are there, hats off to you, babe. You straight rock, okay? All right, let's talk about some of the problems that black men have with their kids. Well, I can't even say they have problems with the kids. Some of the kids don't get to know their parents because of the differences of opinion between their parents. But they have the same problems we have. When y'all act out in school and your daddy's in the house, you think he ain't involved? He's usually the last line of defense because usually mommy handles all of that. But if mommy can't get any, serious resolution going with the situation, the dad steps in. And that's awesome. That is awesome. Fathers are involved just as much as parents are, as the mother is. So we need to be mindful of that fact. It's not your kid. It's both of your kids. Of course, I remember when, and when I was growing up, if we did something wrong and my mother would be mad at us, she'd say, Sam, get your daughter. I'm assuming she was a little hot with me by then, but that's okay. I get it because I do the same thing. So, like I said, this was just a small tribute and wishing all the Black men in America and in the world happy Father's Day. Keep your head up. You are doing an awesome, awesome job. And as sisters, we love you and we appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome Father's Day. God bless you. I'm Kimberly Pinkston with her story. Good night.